Ladies and gentlemen, it is weekday morning, but the goose is loose. How are we all doing today? I thought we would try and squeeze in a little bit of weekday Rimworld. And why not? Back to the colony. I've been loving the weekend Rimworld wake-ups. And I thought it probably wouldn't hurt to wake up the same way on a weekday. A little bit more curtailed, because I've got meetings and all sorts later on this morning. But, for now, we can see where the colony's at. And we've got a few things to deal with already, I notice. But I've got my coffee. I have my colony. What more in life could I want? We've got a couple of minor break risks. This is not ideal. Let's just have a quick look. Oh dear. Right, Sil had to eat kibble, so we ran out of food on our way back from our little expedition to take on the savages. Everybody else is just catching up on sleep. We should be fine. I didn't realise we'd got a mood buff from defeating the insect hive either. Raytar is no longer worried about the fact that he lost Jackie, so that's good. Generally, mood in the colony is pretty good. At the moment, I knew I had to remember this, 3 people are on a fine meal policy. Drakey, Liam and Sil, because they went on their little mission, all ended up on fine meal policies so that they could eat the packaged survival meals. What I think I'm going to do, because we've still got a bit of meat and a lot of other food, I think we might stick everybody on fine meals for a day. And that way we'll get a pretty decent buff. Although, because we defeated the insect hive, actually, most people are pretty happy. So I've changed my mind already. We're going back to simple for everyone. Also, we don't need to be paused. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, the key objective is to get Raytar to go to this peace treaty talk here. We're going to go for the peace talks with Raynant because Raynant, we just did a mission for Raynant. They were -80 in terms of our relationship with them. We're now much, much better off in terms of our relationships. So if we have a quick look at the messages we've got. Wow, you can tell it's early morning, I can't even find it. We did the bandit lair for them, didn't we? Oh, there we go, we just go to historical quests. Yes, so we completed the bandit lair. And that took us from a -80 up to a -26 with Raynant. And if we were to go and meet up with them, which is our diplomacy mission here, which is a 1-star mission. So a normal mission, not hard. We could improve our relations, even receive gifts. A poor negotiator can cause more harm than good and may even anger them. So the plan was that we would send Raytar and Sil to the peace treaty meeting, go to the peace talks. Raytar is our best social pawn, and then hopefully Raytar would be able to talk us up even more, and we may even become a little bit friendly with Raynant. And they keep sending raids against us, so maybe that helps alleviate some of those raids. Although I'm sure Cassandra will find something suitable to replace them with. in the meantime, the base is all vaguely looking okay, but what I want to be able to do is to build a new research room and potentially a medical bay. And we talked about mining through here. Now we've traded with these folks, haven't we? Aren't they the shaman merchants? Yes, they are. That's right, and we actually sold them a few of our animals. That's how good we are at animal breeding now, is we're trading our own animals away. I think once we've got the some of the extra research stuff done, the next thing we're going to look at is possibly geothermal power, because we've got two very nicely located vents within the base here. And we might just have to think about opening up the animal pen to the north, which is not a huge problem. And of course, we bought plasteel from these guys. The plasteel is not going to decay sitting outside, but it does mean that we can start to make helmets. So I'm Different, of course, has the sensory mechanites, as does Raytar, but Raytar's treated them both. Ooh, his tend quality on himself is very bad. Slightly better on I'm Different, so that's okay. There's a couple of things I want to do. Lady Luck, I want to get you to drop the steel flak helmet. And then I want Liam to wear that flak helmet, please. Lady Luck is our nudist. She's not capable of violence, so she's not getting involved in combat. And, you know, she can wear a cowboy hat and look snazzy like everybody else. But while we're making our next flak helmets, Liam can put one on, because he's our proper melee pawn. And we want to make sure that Liam is well protected. And we only need to make, we've got enough plasteel to make 5 helmets, and we only need 5 helmets at the moment for absolutely everyone to be fully kitted in our current best combat gear. And we've got some pretty decent stuff between them. So Drakey's got the LMG, Liam's got the Steel Gladius, which is doing well for him. Sill's got a chain shotgun, Raytar's got a machine pistol, I'm Different has the peeler at the moment, and Kindling has the other chain shotgun. So as it stands, we're pretty well kitted. And we'll get to the point where, as always, we start to relax into the colony. But we've got the bedroom sorted, we've got some defence sorted. That's interesting. We have a random steel urn. I think that's one of the ones we brought back with us. What's Raytar doing? Raytar is... Oh, Raytar's carrying... Ah, a raccoon walked into a trap. That's why. That turkey we will allow, because, you know, we'll happily take any meat that's going. Are those wild donkeys that have appeared? Yes, we have wild donkeys. Oh, we've also got rhinoceroses. Rhinoceri on the map. So that's new. So the question now is next base expansion, and I think everything else we build for the base, or in the base, or around the base, is going to be made of stone. We've got plenty of stone blocks. We've already got slightly too many wooden structures, especially given that Kindling is our pyromaniac and is just one break away from annihilating everything for us. We need to expand our storage area. I haven't optimised the shelves here by any stretch of the imagination. We can double the shelves up, so what I could do is shift one of these down one of these up. I'd have to think about that, but yeah, we can better use this space in terms of the shelves. But the two things we were going to build next, one was a proper medical bay, and we're working on, we've got hospital beds and we've got sterile materials. We don't yet have a vitals monitor because we need the multi-analyzer. Once we've got microelectronics done, which it is, and multi-analyzers done, we can put multi-analyzers on each high-tech research bench, of which we're going to end up with 2. Bye-bye, traders. Thank you for coming. Liam is mining. Let me just have a look at the work schedule. I suppose there's no construction going on, is there? I might set Liam to a 2 in hauling. Because what's Liam's mining skill? He's got a mining of 4. But actually, we've got a ton of steel around the map. We've also got components still around the map. So once Liam has brought that back in, we're going to haul these 2 components. And I think we've got a couple over here as well. Before they... I know we used those. But we will haul those with Liam just before we get to the point where they start to decay significantly. So yes, we have to decide whether we're going to build stuff in here, whether we're going to build stuff out here and expand the base, whether we're going to dig into the mountain and make stuff in here, which will be relatively slow going, I think, but I know a lot of people do. I mean, the other thing is we've got the corridor of death here, and we've already dug into the mountain, so we could start going around here. But you know, that's our main walkway through. So, right, Liam's popping stuff on shelves. Ah, there we go. Liam's going to haul the plasteel, which I'm very happy with. After which we'll get him to grab the components. So I think we're looking at doing dedicated research room, followed by medical bay, followed by maybe starting to upgrade some of these buildings. Actually, we'd probably end up having to do more storage before then, and then expand or change these buildings into stone, which I haven't really thought of the best way to do in vanilla. We're running with no mods. So first playthrough, no mods, no DLC. Just while we learn the game. I know there are mods that let you designate walls to replace, knock down and replace with other materials, and that is not so simple when you're playing vanilla. We'd need to destroy somebody's bedroom and then rebuild it, so we'd need to think about that a little bit, and maybe we gamble with that. We're not min-maxing here. You know, if we have a break and somebody burns down this, or there's a lightning strike, or there's a raid that is chucking Molotovs, that's all part of our narrative. You know, these are their lovely happy bedrooms. What? Oh, Raytar's asleep. He's in mild pain from the sensory mechanites. He's got a huge buff to manipulation. He's actually got a 50% talking buff from the Mechanites, which says to me that actually now is probably a really good time for us to send him to the peace talks, while the Mechanites, I didn't realise they were giving him quite such positive bonuses. Maybe tomorrow we send Raytar and Syl out to the Mechanites and sort of hope that that buff remains. Ooh, we have Aurora. A beautiful aurora is lighting up the sky. The undulating colours boost the mood of anyone outside to see them and make the night brighter. So that'll help Kindling a bit, because Kindling's a night owl and is outside busy doing some of our animal tending as well as research. Kindling's actually gone up to an intellectual of 3 because they've been doing so much of our research, largely because their other skills all reside, they can't do any dumb labour, and all their other skills reside in crafting. But it does make me wonder why they're not making flak helmets, because I thought now we had the plasteel that we had the ingredients. We've got plenty of metal, because we'd said we were going to use steel, and we've got 2,500 of the stuff. Components is what we're lacking. We need components. Right, let me just double check that I've not missed some big thick vein of compacted machinery somewhere on the map where we can dig up some more components. I think we've mined out all the components on this map, which means we're going to have to find other ways to get components, either by trade or by sending caravans to other maps. Look at all the steel in some of these nodes though. There's a lot of steel knocking around the map. See, we could start to make steel walled based structures, but we're going to run up to 4 components, so we're okay. But steel is flammable, we must remember that. Of course it is. Which, you know, I guess at any hot enough temperature, maybe that is true. Now, Syl is very tired and very hungry. Syl is going to go eat and go sleep. Once Syl and Raytar are up, we're going to form a caravan. We're going to go to the peace talks. Now, I don't know whether we can influence the peace talks by giving gifts. Maybe we can. So we might want to think about what we send. Here we go. Enough components, so Kindling is now making a flak helmet. And I sort of need to think about the priority of who gets one next. And we want somebody who is a relative close combat pawn. So probably Syl or Kindling, who've got our combat shotgun, chain shotguns. The challenge we have with Syl is every time we send Syl to shoot someone with a chain shotgun, they just charge straight in there and start meleeing. They seem absolutely bloodthirsty for a face-to-face punch fest. So, I've no idea whether that's going to work out for us or not. Given how gung-ho and suicidal they are, Syl might be the target for our next flak helmet. Oh, Berserker! Welcome on in, thank you, man. Welcome, thank you for the raid. I knew you'd be lurking somewhere, Liam. Welcome on in, buddy, welcome on in. Elephant, thank you, man. Mandragon. Hey, if you are here to murder, I've got a coffee, I'm ready, let's go. Let's do this. Liam, you're a legend, thank you, my friend. Welcome on in, Berserkers. How's the raid been? How's the raid been? How's the stream been? You can tell it's early morning pre-coffee for me. How's the stream, Berserker? Let's pop a shout out here. What a lovely way to wake me up this time of the morning. Thank you, guys. Come on in. Oh, nice. I was saying to Liam, I'm starting to live vicariously through other people's CK3 streams. I love Crusader Kings 3, but I've always found it quite a difficult one to crack into and really get my head around. And those are the kind of games that I can sit and watch people stream for absolutely hours. Streaming on a Tuesday morning before work as well, Liam. I've gone completely off script. The typical Monday evening stream fell through last night. We had a dog sitter over meeting the dogs for the first time because we're going away in a couple of weeks for an overnight. And that took longer than expected, which meant that it would have been a really late start to the stream and so on. And I thought, you know what? We instead of just cancelling the Monday stream, we'll move it and we'll do another morning stream. So, oh, nice! I love a bit of chat control. Absolutely do. Thank you so much, Berserker, for the follow. Really, really appreciate that. That's massive. We're honing in on first 100 followers, which is really exciting from my point of view. You know, channel on my size, that's brilliant. So thank you very much for chipping away. We're getting there slowly. But yeah, I love where I can being able to hang out in someone else's channel and live vicariously through them and enjoy the consequences without worrying I'm messing up my playthrough. Man Dragon, you guys are the best. You're making my morning right now. This is wonderful. But anything where there's chat control, I love the idea of that. We've done that in our playthroughs of Star Sector and our playthroughs of Battle Brothers and a few other games. Lady Luck is insistent on wearing a flak helmet. She absolutely loves it. We've got another one up and running. Right, Sil, you're a largely suicidal pawn. Go and put a flak helmet on. I think Sil might have been asleep then, but that's their problem. Oh, brilliant. Yes, night Bald, if you're still around. But thank you guys for joining on in. It is great to see you all. Wow, close to 400 though, man. That's pretty huge. But thank you guys so much. That has absolutely hit my morning and got it off to completely the right start. I was pretty convinced that tonight was this morning was going to be a really, really quiet stream because it's not my usual stream time. I usually stream Saturday, Sunday mornings, Rimworld, but not during the week. During the week we do Monday evenings where I can, and Friday evenings, which is our sort of random game stream. And at the moment we're playing an awful lot of Rimworld because I just find it completely compelling. But you can also sort of let your pawns go about their daily business and catch up with chat and not really worry that you're missing something. Anything else too exciting and I either don't play the game or don't watch chat. It's trying to sort of do both. So Rimworld lets us do both in spades, and then occasionally we realise that one of our pawns has gone mad and dug up a corpse and put it on the kitchen table, which was Saturday's joy. But I will definitely come and check out the CK3 Berserker. That sounds awesome fun. I did watch one of Liam's CK3 streams. I was saying yesterday or Sunday, whenever it was. You see, I'm really looking forward to Rimworld modding. So this is my genuine first playthrough of Rimworld. I've owned the game for about 3 years, and in those 3 years, Man Dragon, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for the follow. Really, really appreciate it, man. Get some sleep, dude. But yeah, I owned Rimworld for about 3 years, and I struggled to get into it. I found it so overwhelming. I think I checked on Steam, and I had 12 hours in Rimworld in total in the 3 years that I'd owned it, and that was over about 4 different attempted playthroughs where I'd sort of got my first base built and everyone was unhappy and I didn't really know what was going on. You know, I got a single room, and then this time I thought, well, let's stream it and we'll learn it with stream, and chat's been really helpful and supporting, and this colony is now best part of 32 hours old. So this is the very first playthrough, and we decided for the first playthrough we were going to do completely vanilla Rimworld. There's no DLC, there's no mods. We would learn the base game, we would learn the completely vanilla experience, and the plan is that with each successive playthrough we will add one piece of DLC and some relevant mods. Wow, that is a chunk. Well, I am not averse in any way, shape or form to guidance, backseating, help and discussion. We've got some great Rimworld players in the channel, and great Rimworld watchers in the channel, the likes of Liam, who essentially keep me on the straight and narrow and remind me that certain things aren't connected or certain things aren't working, or when I can't work out why I'm making endless helmets and can't turn it off. Liam and co tend to help me stay on track, so do feel free to offer any advice. It is all taken with the greatest of thanks and respect. But yeah, I've fallen in love with the game since, and so we're going to do an extra DLC each playthrough, and we're going to start adding mods basically as I'm going to look at mods after this playthrough, and we've got a spot over on my Discord where we can chat and recommend some mods that they've been using, because there are certain quality of life things I think that I'm looking forward to being improved, and I've got used to the Rimworld mantra of there's a mod for that. So we're definitely going to be changing Rimworld as we go, but we've talked about things like, I know if you've got all the DLCs, there are big mod packs that give you, like full Star Wars reskins and all sorts. You see, that's the kind of thing. Trainar, if Trainar was in chat, he would be busy telling me that if I'm not harvesting organs and trading slaves, I'm not playing Rimworld. He has a very bleak outlook on computer games. I, particularly, I'm quite a nice guy. See, Salvari, we've committed no horrible war crimes in our first playthrough, unless you count selling drugs to buy prisoners. We've done a bit of that. We've had a lot of luck with ambrosia sprouts. So we sold quite a lot of ambrosia in our playthrough, and we've used a lot of that money to buy willing volunteers to our colony, which unfortunately at that point has led to some of them then going off and being killed, but they'll be fine. Right, I think it's time that we sent Sil and Raytar to the peace talks. Let's form a caravan. We're going to go to these peace talks with Raynunt, and we're going to see if we can't improve our standing even further. We've just done a mission for them. I apologise, I'm very sniffly this morning. I think it is, I'm going to say pollen count, because hopefully. Yeah, forced friendship. I mean, I made them a room, it had a bed, it had a table. I've worked out you have to be quite careful with that. Sel, thank you. That really helps me, because I'm really, really bad at getting people's names right. No worries, dude, no worries. Thank you, Berserkers, so much for the raid. Thank you guys for coming on in. It is great to have you here. Right, let us go here. We are going to take Raytar, who is our chief negotiator. We are going to take Sil, who's going to be his bodyguard. And the way I'm going to do this, I am going to trust that Raytar is so good at social stuff that he's not going to anger them, he's not going to annoy them, and we're not going to have to worry about retaliation. So I don't know whether there's any chance the peace talks break down and we fight on the map there and then, but if we do, he's got one bodyguard, but they'll be fine. And then in terms of travel supplies, the question is, do we send a dromedary with them, which would boost their move speed, which I think is good. They're away from the colony for less time then, and Raytar is our primary researcher, and we need to get back to researching. So who did we send last time? We sent dromedary number 1, didn't we? He was one of our adult ones. Oh right, we can't send any of those this time. 10 simple meals between them, starts to rot quite quickly. 4 herbal medicine. I think we'll take 6 of the herbal medicine because Raytar's already struggling a little bit and we'll need to self-tend while he's away because of his nanite things. And then the question was, do we send anything to potentially trade or offer as a gift? And I don't know whether that's going to be even offered or viable, but if it was, it would be nice of us to take some stuff. We're actually running quite low on ambrosia. We're down to like 145 ambrosia. We had 400 at some point quite recently. Oh, look at that. We could haul some dead ciders. That's the other thing we need. We need an electric smelter set up and running. I think we were growing Devil Strand so that we had a trade commodity. So let's take a bit of Devil Strand with us. Ah, see, that's brilliant. Go to, pass or fail. That's all I need to know then, because I've never done one. So I was like, can I take stuff to influence the chance or anything? In which case, we'll take some travel supplies. I'm pretty sure that we're good. Raytar's going to do the chatting. If it is just a negotiation pass and fail, I'm not even going to send Syl. Because I don't know if I send Syl, I don't know if it's going to try and take like the average of their social stats, whereas Raytar is just a social machine. So I think that's the way to do it. We don't need to do that automatically. We will up the number of med packs that we're taking because we're going to go for 2.9 days of food. That's fine. Take an extra one of those and an extra one of those because every 2 days you can treat yourself. Oh, we got smoke leaf leaves. Where did we get those from? We were going to start growing some smoke leaf, but I didn't think we got round to it yet. Right, so we could take one of the dromedaries as well. And then our movement shoots up. And we've got plenty of food then. So we've got 3.3 days of food. We should be fine. That'll be fine. Off you go. Maybe not then. 3.3 days of food. It's a day there and back. Oh, I'll tell you what we need to do. We need... Let's have some kibble for him. You can take a... There's not much point taking any extra simple meals because they're just going to rot in the time that we're away. Right, yeah. So that is worth knowing. See, I was thinking about the encounter itself, but not the chance of being ambushed along the way. So we want at least one person, if they get ambushed, who's capable of a bit of defence. On that basis, do we maybe send Liam with him? Because Liam will just sort it if anything happens. Although, actually, we don't want Liam away from the colony in case we want to start building stuff. Let's send Syl. We're good. So the movement speed's not bad. We definitely want, just auto do that. Load of kibble, simple meals. I definitely want more herbal medicine because Raytar is struggling. Ah, that's fascinating. There's so much to this game. We played, this is a 32-hour playthrough so far, and admittedly, we've been playing relatively slowly, 1x speed, learning the mechanics and so on. We're on Cassandra Classic Strive to Survive, so we're not playing a difficult setting. It's not challenging. I wanted to learn the mechanics of the game rather than just die and not know why. But we're also not on the easiest settings. We're getting raids and we're getting stuff happening. But there's so much I've not seen in the game. It is utterly, utterly brilliant. Well, the other option here is we take those and we take a couple of packaged survival meals. And then the only thing we need to do It doesn't only have 2.8 days of food though, because we're sending Ratar and Syl. So if we tell Ratar and Syl they can go onto a fine meal policy, they can then eat the package supplies, and we're all good. They can eat the package survival meals. Right. So we need an electric smelter because we've got a ton of these slag chunks, and we've also got a couple of mechanoid corpses that I suspect we can melt down for slag. Oh, that sounds so cool. The amount of content the DLCs add is significant, and it comes on top of already a huge amount of base game content in terms of the way you play and the way you customise. So I'm really looking forward to experimenting with that. We're one component shy of an electric smelter, which is how I have been described on many an occasion. So a lot of the slag chunks are here, so we could just put the electric smelter here. For now, it would presumably... no, it wouldn't quite be grid connected from there. We could have it down here then. Ah, perfect. Thank you. Ah, right. You could do that on the machining table. Right. I didn't realise that. Shred mechanoid. Oh, perfect. Well, for now we'll just do 2 times. And presumably shredding the mechanoid is a bit like making the stone blocks. It doesn't give you XP, but it doesn't also have a... well, we're going to find out because we're doing it already. Wow. Done. Brilliant. We've got a lot of slag chunks knocking around, although presumably the slag chunks just give us more steel, and we're not shy of steel at the moment. We're a little bit steel flooded because we started doing some mining once we... I can't remember. Oh no, we our mining pawn came because she was a wild woman and we tamed her like the beast she was. Oh well, that's dealt with the mechanoid corpse. Let's see what we get from it this time. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cell. That really helps, dude. Ace. Bit more steel then. Nice. We haven't got any spare flak helmets, have we? Everyone's... Oh wow, quite a few people are wearing flak helmets though, which is good. Hey, Syl and Ratar are off the map. And on their way. Right, well on that basis, we haven't got the components to make the electric smelter. We don't need to start smelting slag chunks just yet. We can just do that later on. And then... So we'll worry about that a little bit later on. What I might do is set a smelter out so that I don't just forget for the whole of the rest of the game. I might just put a smelter here. And then we'll just forbid it for now. But at least we know it's there and we don't forget that at some point when we've got components we want to make a smelter. Alright, off to the peace talks. God be with you, brothers. I want to see if we can negotiate ourselves some local friendly neighbourhood people. Oh god, the very early part of our second crop is coming in for the Devil Strand. Or is it the late part of our first crop? I need to reorganise the Devil Strand. Because we do not need to grow that much Devil Strand again. In fact, we should probably shrink this zone and start growing some other stuff in this fertile soil. Because we've got a lot of Devil Strand now. Before we do that, how grown are... See, some of these are really, really far grown. So actually the one to do would be to take out this middle chunk here. So if we were to say... If we were to take out this chunk, we could turn that into something else. Especially now that we've harvested all of those. Oh, of course, you can't just split it like that across the two. I've never done this. This will be interesting. Well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, Sel, it might be Drug Empire time, because look at all this lovely fertile soil we've got. Now may be the time. We maybe want to start researching drug production. We have had a healthy supply of ambrosia, but that's dwindling now. Our ambrosia sprouts have not come back yet because it's the wrong time of year, I suspect. We definitely need some smoke leaf going in. So what we could do is we don't want that. What we want is... we could do a growing zone here. I hadn't even realised when we first started the colony that there is fertile soil beneath those ruins. And it's actually the flooring tiles that are blocking it. I just sort of thought it ended there and then went into the yellowy mud stuff. But yes, you're absolutely right. Why not do that? So I'm interested. I should really have looked at this before I started tearing stuff down as well. What happens now to this section? Do these just get left and rot in the field? They don't get tended? Because, I mean, they're still growing at the moment. They're sown and they're growing. So do we have to put another growing zone here, designate it for something else, and then they'll start ripping up what's there and then planting the new stuff, presumably. So what we want to do is we want to say... have we not even claimed all of this? God. You see, I knew nothing when we started doing this. Right, we'll claim all of that. So can we deconstruct the flooring? We can smooth the surface. Well, we can paint the building and remove paint. God, I didn't even... there's options here I hadn't even seen before. Ah! Remove floor. Perfect. And certainly these bits at least, which is in our sort of fertile growing zone. Perfect. Sel, thank you so much, man. Here's me going for a quiet morning all on my own with a cup of coffee, play a bit of Rimworld before my morning meetings. And we've got raids, and we've got superb... why are we paused again? I don't really know. We've got superb support in chat, so guys, thank you so much. So the other thing I love about Rimworld is you can play it for the longest time, but you're constantly learning new stuff. It's just brilliant. Right, well they've not got anywhere near as close as I thought they had because I accidentally leant on the spacebar. Right, everyone seems pretty happy. Let's just let people bod around. Mind you, what we need to be doing actually is working out what we're doing with the rest of this. So we've got a whole growing zone here. If we were to put a new growing zone in here, where's the old one end? There. So if we were to turn that into a growing zone, that immediately joins them up. Oh, I know, expand growing zone 7 or create new growing zone. That's interesting. If I click on this, can I split it? And I can shrink the zone and take chunks out. We're talking complete vanilla here, no mods. Do I need to do... I could do a zone with a gap down the middle, tell them what I want them to sow, and then just expand that zone so that it's adjacent. Yeah, well this is what I'm thinking is, I was going to look at the other sowing options, right? So we can grow psychoids, we can grow hops and start making beer, which would be kind of cool as well. And we could grow a bit of smoke leaf. Now, we've got some casual drug policies that allows the use of smoke leaf, because again, we're not min-maxing, we're essentially role-playing this colony. So yes, if people have had a bit of smoke leaf every now and again, their consciousness is down, and they won't be as good in combat, and they may be dozy, but that's all part of the story of our colony. They're just going to turn into space stoners, and I love it. So some smoke leaf would be useful, because it can be quite handy from a social point of view. Talking purely about Rimworld here, people. I am making no advocation on the use or otherwise of drugs in the real world. Psychoid plants. See, the challenge I have, we don't have anyone with a chemical interest or a chemical fascination in the colony at the moment. But if we have someone go on a mental break, we could still have people who start getting high on our own supply. Whereas I would, if I'm going to grow drugs, if I'm going to make drugs, I want to make them to sell. Essentially, we're going to be Breaking Bad. Oh my god, that sounds perfect, Cell. That I can get behind. We just have a whole colony of stoners. That would be amazing. Right, I was looking at stuff, wasn't I? Right, here we go. 40%. Psychoids are 40% sensitive to fertility. Fertility requirement is 50%, so they can be grown in quite crappy soil. And they've got a 40% sensitivity versus... Smoke leaf is better. Smoke leaf requires more fertility and it's 100% sensitive to fertility. So we could be growing a chunk of smoke leaf in here, no problem. So I think what we do is we shrink the zone. And the way I think we do this, these are nearly grown. So we shrink this by taking out this. For now. Then we add in a growing zone. This I don't think is the most effective way to do this, but this is what we're doing at the moment. And we're going to say in this growing zone... Oh, they're connected again. Shrink the zone. Unconnect them. There we go. This growing zone only. Let's put in smoke leaf. Then we can expand that zone. So we've now got Alright, that's deleted all of the Devil Strand stuff as a growing zone, which isn't actually the end of the world. We maybe do another growing zone for Devil Strand. I don't really understand why it let me have 2 adjacent growing zones here. Maybe because there was nothing growing in this one yet when I made it, and there is stuff growing in this one. We're going to learn. I'm happy with the Devil Strand we've produced so far. We've got like 1700 of it. We can make a bit more even though it takes some time. I definitely want to leave a patch down here of Devil Strand. So I want this to be my Devil Strand zone. Right, that's, yeah, I don't care about that. This one here wants to be Devil Strand. That's fine. So that can stay as Devil Strand, and we've got some quite well-grown plants. This one is now going to be our smoke leaf patch. We'll have a think about what we do with the rest of this. This may be enough Devil Strand for us. Maybe we want to keep growing up here. Because the thing with these is, if we leave them as is, they're just not going to get harvested or resown, are they? Because it's not a growing zone. Hey, we're approaching the peace talks. So if we expand that zone to include this, yeah, that works. So that's our smoke leaf. Then I want to do new growing zone like this. And then the question is, what do we grow in here? Well, at the moment we can leave it as Devil Strand, but which we'll do for now, but oh, we've got another eclipse. Not the end of the world. So hops require 70% fertility and they're 70% sensitive to fertility. I mean, we've got a lot of fertile soil here. Why don't we just start making a shed load of recreational drugs? And we've got a load of dromedaries that we're breeding. We can start making trade caravans and go round the world trading our drugs to people who are interested. Yeah, so let's put hops in there. We're going to try all of this. Now, can we then expand that zone here? There we go. So we've got hops in here. We've got smoke leaf in here. We've got Devil Strand in the remainder of these. So this, expand this zone to encompass the rest of the Devil Strand. For now. Then we've still got plenty of it for making stuff. And presumably, yeah, these two as well. So leaves us with plenty of Devil Strand. We don't have to worry about that. But we've also got some hops going in, and we've got some smoke leaf going in. Once we've cleared this, We put the psychoid down here because it's less bothered by fertile soil, and most of this isn't fertile soil, so we should be okay. But yeah, I mean, why wouldn't we do our own little microbrewery, Liam? That to me is the only way to do this. Right, we have ads rolling in 2 or 3 minutes. I have a shiny new ad screen. It's the same as the old ad screen, except it has the words, the ads are on, that's why I'm not here. And it means that we can keep playing when the ads are on, but acknowledge the fact that they are here. A neat little trick that I learned from Tim the Sorcerer, because it just makes it really obvious that Tim is aware the ads are running and therefore is not rolling on and trying to do stuff that's too interesting without you being able to see it. We've got two different screens now. We've got one if I'm taking a break at any random point, and one if we're getting ready for the ads. And they are essentially the same screen, so, you know, there's some thrilling channel information you did not need. A peek behind the scenes of the type of things I waste my Monday afternoons doing when I really should be working. Right, we are very close to the peace talks. See, it's saying 3 minutes, but then it often says that. It'll say, oh, you've got 3 minutes, and then it'll suddenly roll the ads. And I don't want to do peace talks during the ads. Let's just see if we can get to the peace talks. Or, let's let it run at normal speed. If the peace talks come up, we'll pause, we'll take the ad break. If they don't, we'll do them after the ads. There's no need to rush. This is how we do chill Rimworld. It's the thing I love most about Rimworld, is that complete flexibility for it to be a madcap bonkers survival game, or a completely chill colony builder, or everything in between. Oh, we've got the plague. Raytar's got sick from the plague whilst he's out on his... Ooh, dear. This is going to be relatively bad, I think. Because Raytar's in severe pain. Well, this could be really interesting, because he may get to the peace talks. Aha. Ads. Let me just throw up the screen. Ta-da! Right, we'll be back in 3 minutes when the ads are done adding. Hey, we're Atlas. Okie dokie. Right. We're about to make the peace talks. The ads have been and gone. We're at 20 past 8. All is nice and relaxed. We've still got the eclipse going on. Out on the world map, we are approaching. So we will see if the impact of the plague on Ratar makes a big difference. He's then got to travel all the way back with poor sleep, limited medical supplies. He's already got the nanites. Oh god, he's being carried due to illness. That's how bad he is. And presumably he's going to spread the plague as well. This could have gone better. Thank God we sent the dromedary with them. At least they can sort of slap him on a dromedary. Right. We'll see if he can manage in his weakened state to undertake peace negotiations successfully. I don't have beer brewing research cell, not yet, but it won't take me long. It's only a short research one and we've got pretty decent research capacity as long as Ratar doesn't die. If Ratar dies of plague, our research capabilities drop quite a lot. Peace talks were triumphant. The talks were a great triumph. Delegates connected quickly on a personal level and came to truly see each other's perspectives on the most difficult issues of the day. Relations with Reynaud have improved by 110. They're a plus 84 ally now. They were a minus 80 enemy, hostile, only at the end of Sunday's stream, and suddenly they are a good ally of ours. As the caravan departed, Reynaud offered you a gift. 3 advanced components. Ratar, your negotiator, gained 6,000 social experience. Relations with Reynaud have become very close. They now consider you an ally. Allies will sometimes help to fight your enemies when you're under attack. You can also call on them at any time for a cost of goodwill. You've become allies because your goodwill has risen past plus 75. If it falls below 0, relations will return to neutral. But as long as it's positive, they'll stay as allies. That's ace. Now, let's see how badly it falls when they realise Ratar's given them all the plague. Ah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, presumably, this caravan is automatically coming home because we didn't, we don't stop at the tile or anything. So, oh no, it says they're waiting. Send a caravan to this destination from a selected colony. Yeah, we don't want that. So presumably they'll just come back automatically. That's fine. Oh, well, that was definitely worth doing. We turned an enemy into an ally, which will give us some assistance in upcoming fights. Minor break risk on I'm different. Oh no! They're ravenously hungry because Ratar is away and nobody is tending them. Liam, your top priority is doctoring. Prioritise feeding and then tending. So, because we sent Ratar away and everyone else's medical was set to so low, his sensory mechanites have not been treated and he's starving. Right, Liam, prioritise tending to him and then prioritise feeding him. This could all unravel very, very quickly now. Not with a bang, folks, but with a whimper. The colony does not die to a horrific raid. It does not go out in a blaze of glory on a Sunday morning stream whilst doing something exciting. We just do a quiet Tuesday morning pre-work stream, and during that everybody gets ill, gets failed to be treated and dies. Right, Liam is now going to be the most important colonist we've got, and not for the first time, but need to prioritise feeding I'm different. Oh, you can't. Oh, I'm different's up. They're going to feed themselves. Okay, perfect. But yes, Liam is now the only doctor we've got, especially because when Raytar gets back, Raytar's going to be down with the plague, if he's lucky enough to come back alive. God, we're going to start to run out of shelf space again if we're not careful. Are they coming back? They're waiting. Yeah, the caravan is idle. Waiting for you to set their destination. Choose the caravan. Enter Hope's Landing. Ah, so I did have to send them back. Okay. Right, and Raytar's being dragged due to illness. It's a good job I double checked that, or else we'd have been waiting for them to come back for the longest time, and then suddenly we'd have realised they were all sitting in a field waiting to starve to death. Ah, I love how a chill Rimworld day very, very quickly just collapses into chaos because of a misunderstanding over what to click. But the mechanics are just excellent. Right, I think for now, we might research beer brewing and drug production. Because particularly until Raytar's back up and running, we're not going to make a huge amount of progress on our multi-analyzer. But we might just scrape beer brewing or drug production just using Kindling's limited abilities. Kindling's got an int of 3. See, Lady Luck's supposed to be our alternate researcher. The problem is we've got so much plant stuff going on that she's never not doing it. But Liam, again, is also a genius. So let's just reprioritise some stuff. Liam's doing medical. Liam's already on a 2 research. Let's get rid of the hall. We don't need Liam hauling stuff. Oh, good job, Liam. Liam's absolutely demolished this thing while we've not been paying attention. But once the construction is done, Liam should be doing our research rather than Kindling. Liam and Lady Luck. And that way we should get our beer brewing and our psychoid processing will be able to go after that. Not that we're growing any psychoids at the moment, but we can grow those down here, can't we? Massive drug lab. I can see what happens as well. There's a lightning strike, it breaks one of these fences, all the animals get out and eat all the drugs. It will be crazy. Haha. You are not the first cell to request such a thing. We're going to play this whole playthrough, however long it takes, and we'd probably stream in 15 hours plus of Rimworld a week, on a good week. But we're gonna let this playthrough just sort of play out as it does. We're going to learn it. We're not necessarily trying to finish the game, escape the planet. We're just seeing what happens to our colonists. But Raytar did, in the stream on Sunday, start throwing bits at me on the basis that he would pay me 100 bits to make 2 colonists fight to the death. Which, as I said to him, if he wants to pay me more than 100 bits, then yeah, fine. But no. We're not going to quite introduce chaos yet. I am looking forward to my first Randy playthrough, though. I really am. That, I think, is going to be quite a different experience to this. I've no real interest in playing Phoebe. It just strikes me that Phoebe is a very slow version of Cassandra and not all that interesting. I like the random events. I like the stuff that happens. But for the first playthrough, I wanted it at a pace where I actually felt I understood the mechanics. You know, there's still a ton of stuff I've not built or created. We've not got a research room, we've not got a medical bay, we've not done a lot of stuff yet. And I still don't really understand how I'm constructing all of these or brewing stuff or whatever, so we will get there. But we certainly will be doing a Randy playthrough, and we'll be doing Randy with DLC and all sorts, so... Right, they're on their way back. Ah, Ratar is no longer being carried. Oh, a group of travellers from Raynunt are passing by. Look at that. What would have been raiders from Raynunt are now our friends. Hello, travellers. Paolo. Oh, look at that. Sammy's quite dapper in his hat. Love that. A Mega Sloth wool bowler hat. That's just pimping. Look at that. He's showing it off. This ambrosia wants collecting. Drakey should be really hauling everything at the moment. We need to fiddle with our priorities a little bit, because we seem to be letting a few things slip through the cracks. Although we've had, most of the last 2 streams, we've had somebody out on a caravan in one way or another. See, I'm looking forward to playing it as a survival game, as opposed to a colony builder, and then sort of running something in between. But it's amazing what a different game it is to me already, sort of how it feels very different, just by what I've learned. And you know, I look back at this, I've been uploading the VODs to YouTube, so that we've got a record of the colony as it grows. And all the episodes up to last Sundays are all up on YouTube now. And whilst they've been uploading, I've just been watching a few of them, making sure that things sort of fit. And the stuff I was doing early doors, when I first started the colony, I'm just thinking, what are you doing? What is this decision making? Don't you know that it doesn't work like that? And I was like, of course I didn't. I learnt it during the stream. And I'm sure I will look back at this point in another 30 hours of playtime and make exactly the same observation. So presumably we need... Can we make... We obviously can't make beer yet, because we haven't researched it. But once we've researched it, do we make it via the stove? Or is there a specific production? Presumably we can make beer at the stove? Who's on a break risk? I'm Different is definitely struggling at the moment. I suspect, yeah, it is likely to be vaguely health related. He is in serious pain. He's also hungry. Oh, who insulted him? Liam viciously insulted I'm Different's relationship status. Oh, glass houses, Liam. Bran, hey, how you doing? Welcome on in, man. How are you this fine morning? Or if it is morning where you are, but it's certainly morning where I am. Are you a veteran Rimworld player? Are you someone who is interested in the game? If you have played any Rimworld, you will be able to tell from looking at our colony, I am not a veteran Rimworld player. This is my very first playthrough. And we are about 30 odd hours into this colony. And we've learnt a lot. We're currently just starting our drug empire. We've given ourselves a new objective. It's mainly a recreational drugs empire for our colonists, but we're going to start selling some stuff as time goes on. But we've got the beer is starting to be sown, the smoke leaf is in. We've still got plenty of Devil Strand coming through and a lot of Devil Strand in reserve. And then we're going to maybe put some Psychoid down here. And we can start making some drugs. And then maybe trading those drugs for slaves, who knows? See, once we've finished researching our vitals monitor and we've got proper hospital beds in a sterile environment, then we could potentially start organ harvesting. You know, all these things are possible. We would never say never. So right now we're playing completely vanilla, mod-free Rimworld. First ever playthrough, I just thought we'll do vanilla, we'll learn the basic vanilla mechanics, and with each playthrough we do, we are going to add a new DLC. And we can give ourselves some objectives based on those DLCs, and we can learn the new stuff that's in those. And then we will also start adding, sprinkling mods in and around after we've done this playthrough. And this playthrough, I think, is going to end in fire at some point in the not too distant future. I think we've been far too calm and sort of well looked after for far too long. We're playing on Cassandra Classic, Strive to Survive, so not the most challenging mode, but when I started this I had no idea how to do any of the things that we're currently doing, so I just wanted to learn. Hey, here we go. Raytar's caravan has been ambushed by a group of 1 tribespeople from the NATO Union. They will attack unless we give them all the advanced components we were given and all our herbal medicine. Get lost. 1 person from the NATO Union can get shot in the face by Syl with a combat shotgun. Thank you very much. Right, you two. Now what I am going to do is... what have they got? A short bow. Syl, I want you to... you're out of range at the moment. Syl, get behind cover. You go there. Raytar, you go here. Oh, finally, Syl combat shotguns are our way to victory. Perfect. Right. Let's reform the caravan. Head in this way. We'll take everything with us. So, I'm not so bothered about the tainted tribal wear, but there's a steel urn on that map, we'll have that. I also don't want the dead cave builder. And I'm not bothered by the limestone chunks and stuff, but we're definitely taking the bow and so on. And everything here is coming with us. Oh, we're taking some berries too, nice. Right, okay, so we're going back. Oh. I think this is quite a civilized way to wake up with a coffee, with a little bit of relaxed colony Rimworld rather than some crazy losing his fun Randy Random run. Just a quiet little watch my colonists. See, look, Liam is on the high-tech research bench. So at this point the research is going to be absolutely chugging on because kindling's on the normal one. We're going to be able to brew beer in no time. I'm Difference making us some meals. Did I accidentally leave everybody on fine meals? Because they appear to have all been eaten. No wonder everyone's happy. I left Raytar and Syl on fine meals, nobody else. Everyone else is on simple. We've got another solar flare. Right, all the electrical devices are going to pass. Everyone's on simple meal policy, so where have all my fine meals gone? There's no way Ratar and Syl ate all of them in the day before they left. Oh no, they're still there. Oh, I see. Have we just scrolled off the very bottom of the list of things we've got, and it's somewhere down here? Because I can see them on the shelf. Yeah. So yes, we still have got all our fine meals. Oh yeah, there they are, there they are. I was starting to wonder, just a little bit. Right, well Liam's done a cracking job of pulling this all apart. Should have done that way earlier. We need to start thinking about beautifying our base a little bit, I think. We're still with the old wooden floors and the old wooden walls. I think we could do with some nice stone floors. Because if we look at like wood floor is just a standard wood floor. If we went for see, granite tile is a beauty of one. So we even just putting granite tiles and everything, but we've also got a ton of marble. Right, we did marble deliberately, also beauty of one. So we could start making marble flooring throughout the rooms to make them more attractive. Nice. We've got our two plant folk. This is the other thing. Lady Luck. Lady Luck has a plant skill of 15 with a burning passion. And I'm different, has a plant skill of 10 with a burning passion. So at the moment we are a well set up colony to be doing drug production. We have I think we have an art bench. Yeah, we've got a wooden art bench down here. We've made a little wooden sculpture. We got inspired to do some good art, so we made a wooden sculpture of good quality a little while ago. A long time ago, back when this used to be bedrooms for everybody. So we do have an art bench knocking around, so we could start making some art to beautify the place up. Come on, solar flare. Oh, right, the guys are coming back. I am interested to know. Yeah, Ratar is now being carried due to illness again, so I'm wondering. Ratar's fast asleep. Syl is doing all the work. How bad is Ratar going to be when he gets back? Liam is going to have to tend to him. It's a large sculpture. So we don't want a steel one, we don't want a wooden one. We could be doing marble blocks. If we said we wanted marble sculptures, it would take 100 marble blocks. We've got marble blocks for days, we don't need to worry about that. And we've got some very good artistic skill, I think, knocking around somewhere. Who's our artist? Oh, there we go, I'm different. He was our artist of 13. Hey, the solar flare's done. So I'm different. I think I'm different is set as a relatively high art priority. Yes, they are. Yeah, if they're not cooking, they're arting. So we could make ourselves, if we made a load of small marble sculptures, so it's 100 marble for a big one. Small one's 50. So we could make some little marble sculptures and put them into all sorts of rooms to beautify the rooms. also need someone to be doing a bit of cleaning around here. We've got too many people who are incapable of dumb labour. Right, the caravan's back. So Ratar now has major plague because it's been completely... It has been tended, but to be fair, his immunity is pretty high now. But he is struggling a lot. His sensory mechanites are still a big issue. Can be tended in a while. So what's Ratar doing? Ratar's taking the dromedary back to the pen, at which point I assume he's going to go to bed. And we can have Liam tend to him soon-ish, but he can't, neither of these can be tended for another 19 odd hours anyway. But it looks like at the current rate he should develop immunity to the plague before it progresses from major to whatever the next stage is, which is, I assume, either extreme or just dead. The question for me is it contagious? Well, Syl hasn't got the plague from him, so that's nice. Yeah, Ratar's soaking wet, uncomfortable, sick, and in intense pain. None of which are great. Presumably Ratar's taking a long time to take the dromedary back to the pen. Oh no, his movement's not too bad actually. I thought he'd be very, very slow. What's Syl doing? Syl's unloading the inventory. He's not sickly, no. No, he's tough. He's psychically deaf and he has creepy breathing. It's just random. They've had the mechanites for a long time. Well, long enough. A couple of them picked up mechanites sort of towards the end of Sunday's stream. He just happens to have caught plague while he was out and about. Right, well done, Ratar. You can go to bed now. Oh no, you're going to go unload inventory. That's fine. You do you, buddy. Oh, whoa! Random organ failure does not sound good. We have researched prosthetics, but presumably we need a lot more before we can research... Well, I'm assuming you can't make organs, but you can switch them from people. Or is organ failure just largely instantly fatal? Hey, we've nearly learnt to brew beer. And then we can, once we can brew beer, the whole colony can suffer from random liver failure. Do they always unload the inventory into the kill box for some reason? Because that seems to be where this steel urn came from as well. Guys, welcome on in. We've got quite a few people. Those of you who came with Berserker's Raid earlier, massively appreciate you guys. And thank you for sticking around. Those of you who are new, welcome to Chill Rimworld on a weekday morning. I've got no meetings until 10:30, 11, I don't think. I will check that. So I thought we would stream a little bit of Chill Rimworld. We normally do Rimworld on a Saturday, Sunday morning, and uh-oh, Ratar's down. Oh god, he's crawling to bed. Poor Ratar. Right. Rescue Ratar. Syl's on a minor break risk. Rescue Ratar. Take the poor plague-ridden beast to bed. Reappropriation. Oh man, that's what I love about this game. All options are possible. Get him into bed. Right, can he yet be tended for anything? No, he can't. Okay. Yep, he's up to extreme plague. That has taken him down. Now his plague immunity is so close, but his extreme plague is 82%. So he is at high risk if one outraces the other. Now I'm pretty sure he's going to get to immunity way before the plague gets to full blown. But yeah, we're nearly immune. But yeah, welcome on in. So this is my first ever Rimworld playthrough. We're playing completely vanilla, no DLC, no mods. We will be doing DLC in the future. We will be modding in the future. We are going to be doing a lot of Rimworld on this channel. I think it's basically our main game now. He is immune to the plague. So the plague should start ticking down from 84% now. And no longer needs tending. So the only tending we need is for our sensory mechanites. And we've learnt beer brewing. So I think drug production is just a natural next step for us. I said right at the beginning, I think probably stream one of the things that I said I wanted to do at some point was a drug producing colony playthrough, and we decided we weren't going to do it this time because I just didn't know how the game worked and how we did drugs and all the rest, but I'm feeling more confident now, so we're going to do it this playthrough and maybe the next one too, who knows. But I'm still quite enamoured by the idea of a raiding Viking playthrough as well. I really need to start deep diving into mods. Anyone who's really enjoying themselves, we have got a Discord. If you wish to join up, you are entirely welcome to join us on the Discord, and we've got a number of people there who picked up Rimworld quite recently. Myself is obviously one of them, but also Dragon Guy, and we've got a few other inexperienced Rimworld players, Tin Mass and so on, as well as some very experienced, several thousand hours players who are helping us out immensely in our Rimworld chat. And we've got a mod channel in there for people to recommend various useful, helpful mods. So you are entirely welcome in the Discord if you wish to, because I need to start building up a bit of a mod list in my head to start playing with. I'm going to add a DLC on each playthrough, but I'm also going to start modding relatively slowly, soft touch, little mods here or there. And we will do that throughout playthroughs. So this first one I'd like to keep completely vanilla. I want the whole experience to be start to finish a first player experience. I was talking to somebody yesterday in someone else's stream who was thinking about picking up Rimworld, and I like the idea that if they find the VODs, and they're all up on YouTube, they can see what it's like for somebody else. Because when I first bought Rimworld, which was about 3 years ago, I managed to put 12 hours into it over 3 years because I couldn't get it to work for me, and I was too afraid of it. I was too worried. There was too much going on. What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? Oh no, we've been raided. Oh no, someone's got a disease. And I just kept stepping away from it and thinking, right, I'll play this another day. And it can be quite intimidating. And I think if you can see somebody else play through and just roll with the punches and deal with stuff. Oh, you're eating fine meals, of course, aren't you? Which is fine because, you know, you've been ill. But I think we'll turn that off for now. But yeah, I think that's quite helpful. So we won't be modding this run through. We won't be DLCing this run through, but we will be adding mods as we go, bit by bit. So in the next playthroughs, it won't be sort of 1 or 2 mods per playthrough. We'll do it as we go, depending on how long those playthroughs last. I suspect we're going to start changing some of the settings and the way that we do things. And those playthroughs will probably, well, yes, they certainly won't take as long as this because we're going to be playing on higher speed and all sorts, but they also won't last as long as this. I think we'll die more quickly. Now Liam, I think, just insulted kindling. Kindling and Liam quipped about fat people. Maybe not, they seem to be enjoying themselves. Ah, that's really useful. I didn't even know that was a thing, Cell. I didn't even realise that if you get visitors or merchants and they happen to die on your tile, that's a negative thing for you. And that's worth knowing about, because we had a great big group of merchants who came, we traded with them, and they got into our kill box and they just sort of decided to sit there for a long time. And while they were there, we had a bunch of insects spawn in this corridor and start laying eggs and smashing stuff. And they decided to deal with it for us before we could do anything. They were straight out of this door, in through here, and they mopped up most of the insects. We killed a few of them. But in doing so, they got a few people quite badly injured. They didn't get anyone killed, but they could have done very easily. And I didn't even realise that would have had a negative impact on my rep with that faction. So that's well worth knowing. See, the other thing is, I quite like that. Depends on the difficulty we're playing on, but I quite like that as a potential consequence. Because everything I do is, you know, we've done it in Battle Brothers, we've done it in Star Sector, it's sort of done from a narrative roleplay point of view. I don't mind losing the game, as long as we're telling a good story, and to me that's what Rimworld is. It's a story generator, rather than a game. It's just something to be experienced. So I'm not entirely against that, actually, and then having to deal with the consequences of something that just wasn't our fault. I suspect after it's happened once and made for a fun story, you just sort of think, I don't want that fun story again. It's done now. I'm over that. Right. I'm different. You've done very well, but you can stop cleaning now as your priority. We're going to get you doing some art quite soon. I'm going to start making some marble statues. We're going to get some marble flooring in. I didn't really have an objective for this stream. Well, that's not true. The objective for this stream was to get Raytar to go to the peace negotiations, and they went very well. So I'm very pleased about that. Now all we need to do is get Raytar vaguely healthy. Oh, we've just had 2 wild boars born. So our livestock business is really going strong. In fact, our livestock business is going so strong. Yeah, we're very close to using all the nutrients in this pen. Kindling is idle. Now this is a bit of a risk with kindling, especially when Raytar and Liam are both researching. And that's how we want them. Kindling is incapable of any kind of dumb labour. They're good at crafting, but if we don't have anything to craft, or any animal handling to do, there's very little else they've got any skill to do. I tell you what we can have them doing though. Ooh. Rescuing Riss. A prisoner being held by the Grey Dominators has managed to steal a radio and call you. Riss is being held at a camp near Hope's Landing under armed guard. Rescue her and she will join the colony. She's a 20-year-old animal farmer. We've got so many animal farmers. She says there's an enemy outpost at the site guarded by 5 pirates, and there may be an unknown threat. Is there a way for us to look at Riss's stats? We just know that she's an animal farmer. We don't know. We can't see her bio. That is a bit of a challenge if we can't see the bio. There's a couple of things that I would say. One of which is, if we look at Drakey, Drakey's got an animals of 10 with a burning passion. Liam's got a 4, Sill's got a 3, Raytar's got a 4, but then I'm different as an animals of 4 with a passion. Kindling's got animals of 15 with a burning passion, and even Lady Luck can do it a bit, so I don't think we particularly need an animal tamer. For the sake of dealing with a ton of pirates and other potential threats, I think it's just too much of a risk to the colony. We should be off doing other stuff, so I'm not too fussed about rescuing Riss. You know, if Riss brought something that we just don't have at the moment, that would be... Try not to mute my mic in the middle of chatting. What I will say, that what I was about to do there is we've got stone blocks on here. We've been cutting marble chunks, stone, so we've done marble and granite chunks. And these builds, I think, require a minimum craft level of nothing. Anyone can do it because you can't mess it up. So what we need is some other repeatable job like that, such as smelting steel or something, that Kindling can be doing when they've nothing else to do. And they are our primary crafters, so we have a couple of options. We could step up the block production. So what we could say is, on this table, we could take these builds and we could do granite blocks until we've got 1,800 of them. 2,000 of them. That's probably a little bit much actually, because we're going to end up filling up all our storage way too quickly. But if we did that, then for now, if they've nothing to do, they can be cut in stone blocks, and then we will have more stone to build more stuff with our stone. So that works. Right, hops are 22% grown already. Smoke leaf is 12%. We've now cleared this area. So we could shove another... Now, the thing is, if we put another zone in here with psychoid in it, it keeps our plant people even busier for even longer. It makes our harvests even more challenging. We could do more food crop, except that for the current size of colonists, we've got best part of 4,000 corn, rice, potatoes between them. We've also got quite a lot of meat all of a sudden, because we've had quite a lot of drug production's already researched. This is what happens when Liam and Raytar get working on stuff together. So we could do psychite refining, so we can turn psychoid leaves into flake and yayo. Penoxysilene might be really useful, so that we can start blocking drugs before they start. Give ourselves immunity to stuff. Or we could start growing some psychite and start making flake and yayo, and then hoping that our colonists don't go mad and take it all and die. Which in and of itself could be quite fun, and then we could sell those for quite a big profit. I think we'll take psychite refining for now. And if we're taking psychite refining, let's grow ourselves some more stuff. However, if we go here... Yeah, psychoid is just nowhere near as sensitive to fertility, but we'll grow it here for now because it's only 50% sensitive, but at least it is 50% sensitive, so we can grow it in this slightly less fertile area. So we are now growing cotton, smoke leaf, hops, psychoid, devil strand, as well as our 3 food crops. I could see us expanding our 3 food crops, except that we're just flooded with food at the moment. So I don't think it's necessary as we stand. But so far it's been a lovely little morning stream. Cheeky little raid. We've got 2 more followers, which has been absolutely wonderful. I am pushing towards 100, which was sort of that was my question to myself when I started streaming, was would we ever be able to get to 100 followers? And we've been going a while, I think about 4 months we've been streaming, but we're getting close now. It's starting to feel real. So thank you everybody who's followed today. Really, really appreciate that. Keeps me coming back. The thing that I like about streaming, I started doing it because I figured I watch a lot of Twitch and I play a lot of games. And if I'm playing stuff, within reason, as long as I'm not needed to be up and down dealing with dogs and stuff, I may as well be streaming it. And I always find it more fun to play stuff if I've got people to chat to. And particularly for a game like this, where I find it quite overwhelming and difficult, having people in chat to talk to while I do it has really not only kept me interested, but I've learned the game much better. And I found this with everything we've played, with Battle Brothers, with Star Sector, with all the games that we've sort of gravitated to on this channel, the ones where chat can get involved and chat can name pawns and name Battle Brothers and stuff, and we can sort of tell a story together. It's just so much more fun with people. So I appreciate you all. You are all wonderful, wonderful people. And to my 3 marvellous subscribers, you are always key supporters, and I love you all. You can only buy Neutroamine for the pentops from merchants. Ah, okay. So, as nice as it would be to start making the penoctixylene, we're not going to be able to get the ingredients for it unless we get lucky with a merchant. That's really useful. Thanks, Cell. I did wonder where that came from, given that, you know, at the moment we seem to have access to all the different things we could grow. And that wasn't on the list, or I didn't know what the ingredients were. I meant to check, but yes, thank you. Oh, we've got some butchery going on. Wow, we've butchered a couple. So this is helping. The nutrient consumption in the pen has dropped a little bit. Now the pen's not the end of the world, because we can just open the pen up to this side, make it a little bit bigger out here. We're not going to expand the pen too much down here, because I think this is where some of our growing is going to occur. We've got a little bit more fertile soil down here. So the big question now is next plan for base expansion. So we've got our little base going on in here. It's lovely, it's well defended-ish, but it's good enough. One of the options would be to wall off up here and up here and expand into this area, and we could pull this whole kill box apart and build a new kill box somewhere up in this corner and mine our way through here so that anyone coming in this side will hopefully go through here and round into the new kill box, and that would give us this part of the map as well. It's a bit more long term, but I like it. So we could build that, we could have doors in the relevant places and just leave them open so people can still come into the current kill box while we're busy making stuff, but we're taking up more of the map. We could also mine our way into here and start building stuff in here. So the new research page, the new medical bay, new research room, research page? Quite sure where I was coming from that. And again, same down here, we could mine ourselves out a bit of base inside the stone and make it quite defensible. That could also be pretty cool. So I think they may well be options. Now Ratar and Syl are back, and Syl is our mining pawn. So if we look at where the roof tiles are, we could get Syl to mine in here and mine out a great big chunk of this. I'm Different is not happy because they're in the darkness, they're soaking wet, they ate without a table, they've got disturbed sleep. Is the disturbed sleep because somebody came in to treat them? Yes, it is. They're also moving very slowly because of their wooden foot, so you know. I find the sensory mechanites really interesting because unlike a typical disease, they've got a tending quality and a tending period. You can tend people who have the mechanites, but there's no indication as to how you get rid of them, or if you even do. So, like, are those mechanites permanent, or is there just a percentage chance on each tend that they disappear? Hard to tell. You know, with a disease, you build up an immunity. With a wound, you sort of treat and wait. I guess the consciousness, the moving and everything, these are coming back up. So maybe when these get back up to max, these will drop down, and then we'll have it. Yes, thank you, Cell. I was aware of that, but that is the kind of thing that I will need to be more mindful of, because yes, these presumably these are where we've actually got naturally overhanging roof. If we mine into all of this area away from the green, none of that counts as roofed if we mine it out, does it? Until we build it. And then we'd have to build walls, rooms that were like 13 by 13 or something within here, so that we get. But anything under these bits here, there'd be the risk of the roof coming in. Hey, kindling's cutting blocks. Sill is now idle. It's alright, Sill's idle, but Sill's getting high, so that's fine. Somewhere we've got some smoke leaves, haven't we? We've also got psychite tea. I need to review my drug policies, because I didn't worry too much about psychite or about yayo or flake. I mean, I think at the moment, I think the social drugs policy allows ambrosia, it allows beer and smoke leaf, and we just don't allow recreational or scheduled use of anything else. But we do allow everything to feed addictions, already established addictions. So that's all fine. Ah, cumulative 10 quality of 300%. Ah, that is really worth knowing, Cell. So, I mean, we have got much better meds. We've got typical medicine, and we've got one Glitter World medicine. I'm sure we used to have 3, but who knows? So maybe for Ratar and for I'm Different, who currently have the sensory mechanites, maybe we let them use the normal medicine for now? I mean, the bonuses are quite nice, but the penalties are not, and the pain is affecting their mood. So I think for now, let's try Industrial Tech Medicine on Ratar and I'm Different. Nobody else. And then when are their next tens? Hey, the minor plague is going. 35% left on the plague for Ratar, now he's developed his immunity. He can be tended in 1.3 days. And 1.4 days to be tended, okay. We can live with that. Right, we've got ads coming up in a couple of minutes. So when that happens, I will throw up the ad screen. Oh dear, we're losing ambrosia up here, it's just not being hauled. And nobody's hauled the jade yet, but the jade's fine in the sitting out there, other than the fact that somebody could come on the map and steal it. It would be nice to have the jade, because then we could make a jade statue. In fact, actually, we mined out quite a lot of jade. We could make a pretty decent sized jade statue with all of that. But yes, when the ads roll, I will pop up the ad window, and this time I'm going to go make a cup of tea, because I've nearly finished my coffee, and another cup of tea would be marvellous. Cell, thank you. You helped completely, and it was not overbearing or backseaty at all. It was really useful, so massively appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for stopping as long as you did. Really appreciate it. I hope I see you on another stream. It's been great to chat to you. Thank you, man. Sleep well, my friend. Ooh, we've learnt psychite refining. So we could learn wake up. Now we've got the boys back though. We could also crack on with the multi-analyzer so that we can start making a proper research room to start researching a vitals monitor so that we've got a decent hospital room, which I really like the idea of because we're starting to get a few illnesses where we really need to be able to treat more impressively. So let's crack on with this. And we're in the ads. I'll throw up the ad screen. And I'll be back in 3 with a cup of tea. Okay, we are ad-free since '93. Back to colony action. That was a disastrous ad break. We lost most of our viewers. Oh. I'm Different's hauling steel. They're struggling with their sensory mechanites, but they also don't like being out and soaking wet. We're going to start to struggle more and more, I think, as people's expectations of life in this colony get higher and higher. Ah, you can scroll the stuff on the left. I like it. Good. I know we can also arrange this as a little drop-down menu of stuff, which might be the way to go now that we're starting to really fill out on stuff. Perfect. Wow, we've actually mined out that entire section of steel. We could make steel everythings, which is nice. Oh, oh dear. Oh dear. The donkeys appear to have walked through our kill box, and it has left an absolute massacre. I feel terrible now. We have assaulted local wildlife without ever meaning to. We have seriously injured 3 donkeys. I would tame them, but I don't want any more animals. We've got a downed donkey that's bleeding out. Oh dear. We're having to rebuild all our traps donkeys, and you lot are just not well. Oh god. Oh, that donkey has an artery blockage in its... No, 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 donkeys, donkeys, don't. I've only just rebuilt that trap. Oh no, it's carnage. Is he going to make it out safely? Well done, donkey, well survived. Presumably they're aware of the traps on the second way through, so they're less likely to stand in them. I think we're about to find out. No. Oh god, no, don't go back in. Don't go back in. No, no, he's still triggering the traps. Oh, well now I just feel terrible. Would you... So Liam's busy rebuilding the traps. And we've just killed 3 donkeys by accident. This is not good. So these donkeys are just going to bleed out. Right, he's going to die in 2 hours. He's going to die in 1 hour. This feels terrible. Do we passively just let donkeys bleed out? Do we put them out of their misery and help them contribute to our colony with a bit of donkey meat? This has gone badly wrong. I mean, we weren't going to domesticate the donkeys, so from a colony management point of view, we've not lost anything. But from a humanitarian point of view, I feel terrible that we've built this kill box to defeat our vicious enemies, and we've ended up wounding innocent local donkeys. I think really we should get Liam to finish them off. Like, just do the humane thing. Oh, and that one's already died. And that one's going to die very, very soon. Oh, that's a sad way to close out a stream. I mean, we're not done yet, but I was going to do another... I reckon I can push for another half an hour, 40 minutes, and I've got a meeting, I think, at 10:30. That's a bad way to do it. We need to do something positive and wonderful. We're going to have to smoke a lot of smoke leaf to get over the death of these donkeys. Oh dear, yeah, both donkeys have now gone. I suppose we could have rescued and patched up the donkeys, but then what are we going to do? Set them free for them to then wander back into the spike trap? I mean, the other option would be we could put a door here and then leave that door open when we get a raid. However, we occasionally get a guinea pig or something wandering through here, or a turkey, and it's not the end of the world to have an additional supply of meat without having to actively go hunting. We've also got a raccoon that's gone down up here, I'm not quite sure how. I'm Different really needs to heal up. Oh dear, I'm Different is broken and they're going on a food binge. It's the old Liam trick. So they are now just going to go on a mad food binge. Now presumably, we've not had this since we made the fine meals, but yeah, presumably on a food binge they're just going to eat the nicest food available. So all of our fine meals are going to get eaten, which isn't the end of the world, because we've got lots and lots of meat for butchering and we've got loads of food in the shelves. We almost need to use some of this up, so it isn't the end of the world, but and it will give them more cooking XP while they then level back up whilst cooking back up all the meals that they've accidentally eaten themselves. But that's a bit of a disappointment that they've had their mental break. On the plus side, we will get some catharsis from them once they're done. So they've currently got a cooking of 9. They started out at a cooking of like 3 or 4, I think. I think we had to cook through from 3 with a passion. And we ended up with a lot of sick colonists in the early days because we refused to go nutrient based. We decided to go with a cook. But the best one we had was I'm Different, who was our first captured pawn. And he took over the cooking at skill level 3 and is now skill level 9. So if he eats a load of fine meals, he'll cook a load of fine meals, he'll gain some XP, but that's disappointing. He's very, very close to level 10 actually in cooking as well. I mean, his mood is rapidly increasing because he's definitely not hungry, and here he is eating fine meals, so he's got fine meal buff. He's in quite a nice room. Generally speaking, it's going quite well for him. He likes spending time in that room, and he spends quite a bit of time in it at the moment while he eats stuff. He'll have a constant fine meal buff. So it just depends on how long this break lasts. Wow, that's a hungry boy. Of all the mental breaks we could have had, that one, not a huge deal. We're okay. Right, I think we need to start planning out our research room. I think we make... Oops. I think we make some marble walls. If we did that, and then we did... We'll have a power conduit up there, and we'll also have one this way, just to give it a little bit more... a bit of a redundant supply if need be. We'll build this. It'll be a lovely little marbly room, the first of our next generation of prettier buildings. We're going to put both our research benches up in there. So we also want... we want a nice wall lamp there, 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 and we'll have one on that side of the door, I think. So this will give Liam something to do. We can start making this holy marble room. We'll put the research benches in it. We'll put some nice chairs in there and some other pretty stuff. We'll make another couple of statues, I think. Let's make a... make a large marble statue. Do one time. And we'll make this quite a pleasant place to be, because the researchers are going to be spending a lot of time in the research room. And I think it's time we did this, definitely. That, I don't think, is going to be close enough to the power, is it? So if I click on that... no, that's not connected, whereas that will be when these are built. We'll see how we get on. If that's not connected, we'll have to, I think we up that anyway. I mean, the power conduits cost us like 1 steel per thing, and we've got steel for days, so... let's let Liam make this. Uh-oh, it's a dry thunderstorm, so we have no rain to put the fires out, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful on firefighting here. Lady Luck, prioritise extinguishing the fires, please. Because the other thing is, a lot of this is not in our home. So, Sill, what is Sill's construction? Construction, sorry. See, Sill's on a construction of 2. I don't want you constructing because you're going to waste materials. Same here. I only want you two with either a 7 or a 10 to do any of the construction. Sill, you can be fighting fires, please. Probably going to have to fight the fire down there as well. Because that is just raging out of control. This is starting to look like quite a nice, attractive, proper room. Rather than these little wooden ones, we're going to have our first proper room in here. Get our research up and running. That way, once we're ready, we can put multi-analyzers on our research benches. Although we're going to need components to make the multi-analyzers, so we may need to send out a trade caravan at some point pretty soon. Oof, this is raging now. Right, Sil. Fight that fire, Lady Luck. Fight that fire. Yeah, it turns out steel is very flammable. Look at it go. On the plus side, that was a relatively short-lived lightning storm. There's a pretty big one up here that I think we're just going to have to let burn itself out. And hope that it doesn't spread to the entire map. Oh my god, okay, there's quite a few of them. It was short-lived, but it did a lot of damage. Luckily, not too near our base. Although it may be that if it catches some of the boomalopes, we get in trouble. They do seem to be burning out slightly. And the two of these guys are managing this, which is nice. And at least that urn melted down into some usable steel, just not very much. Ah, right, Lady Luck. You can go and do what you need to do. Sil's got this. Yeah, Sil, you're fine. You can fight fires all day. Nicely done. I'm Different is still food binging. At this point, they're desperate for sleep. But they're too busy eating all of our fine meals to worry about sleeping. Currently, I'm Different has eaten, coming on for half of the fine meals that we had cooked. Thank goodness for the suicidal donkeys. Said nobody ever. What kind of game is this? Suicidal donkeys. So on the plus side, we're friendly. In fact, we're allied with Reinhunt instead of being mortal enemies. So that went well. Raytar's still got his sensory mechanites, but he's recovered from the plague, which, you know, wasn't a problem at the start of this playthrough. I'm Different still has his sensory mechanites. Other than that, everybody's relatively good. We've also got a few hats, which is nice. So Lady Luck is... well, Lady Luck is currently holding some jade. Very nice. What I want her to do is drop her hat and then Drakey can equip it when she gets back to base, because she does not need to be wearing a flak helmet. Oh, 67% tending of pain. Well done, Liam. Right, Lady Luck. Drop your flak helmet. pop on the flak helmet, Drakey, and then we're happy with what you're doing. And then at some point we want another 3 flak helmets, but that's fine. What we'll do for now is we'll suspend the flak helmet job, because if we get any components, I want to save them for making another high-tech research bench and some multi-analyzers. As it stands, we're going to relocate these 2 benches in here and put 1 multi-analyzer in there. And we might also use this room for other stuff. I mean, maybe some of the crafting benches will go in there as well. And Sil at some point is going to be doing some art, but for now Sil is still firefighting. And the fires are burning pretty rampant. At this point, I don't know how much danger there is unless it starts raining soon, of a huge amount of the vegetation on the map just burning up. I mean, these are just out of control now. Sil is barely controlling this one. Yeah, I'm not so fussed by that actually. I think, Drakey, you can come and help fight these fires. Because this one could start taking out stuff we need. The rest of these, I'm sort of hoping it starts raining soon, because otherwise the whole colony may burn to the ground. I mean, it's the 12th of September, it's got to rain soon. It always rains in September, surely. As soon as it starts raining, I think we're quite happy, but until then... let's just make sure Sil isn't in desperate need of anything. Yeah, Sil's starving hungry, you see, so... I think you can trade with Drakey and go and get yourself something to eat. So we're going to run out of flammable material around here soon, because that's slate, isn't it? See, at this point, if we still had wooden walls, I'd be panicking. But everything's granite on the outside, so we should be okay. It's raining, okay, perfect. Drakey, you do what you need to do. That's a lot of greenery we've lost. Little dog check. No, all sounds good, all sounds good. Right. Right, the rain is extinguishing the pretty wildfires. Thankfully. That was just a little bit nervy for a moment there. But Liam's been cracking on, we're okay. Right, our highest priority for next stream, and I think next stream will probably be Friday. Friday's usually our wildcard evening where we play something either completely off the wall or something that chat has recommended. So subscribers can recommend in the Discord a game they would like to see me play, and if I have it, or if it is within my budget to pick up, then I will give it a go. We've already played Death Road to Canada, which was Dragon Guy's recommendation, and we will be playing some more of that because that game's mad. And I've got a couple of ideas of stuff I'd like to try, but I'm also really enjoying Rimworld at the moment. And I think we want to move on with this colony so that we can, you know, get to our next playthrough, whether that's through our choice or the game's choice. So we we'll be streaming, typically it's Monday evening, Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday morning. But the Monday evening stream seems to be the one that gets most disrupted, because once you start the week and start working, things get in the way. I actually quite like the idea of a chill morning stream during the week. It works quite well. So I think we will definitely be Rimworlding next Saturday and Sunday. But also, we might squeak one in on Friday evening as well. I don't think I'm going to get another morning this week. I've got too much on. But any mornings we can squeeze in a cheeky little stream, we certainly will do. Depending on work, doesn't leave us with the longest potential stream time, but it's nice just to get some in and do a bit more of our colony on the channel. Right, the fires are now all out. Yikes. I mean, this area was already quite devastated by the pod that came down with the mechanoids in it, but the fire has certainly not helped with the rejuvenation. It'll grow back. Trees always sprout up, it'll be fine. So we've made some progress this morning. Raytar has managed to get us an ally in Raynant, who are our mortal enemies, our hostile mortal enemies at a -80 up until the end of Sunday's stream. And we're now at like a +84 with them or something. They're very much our fans, which is great. It is always nice to have allies. We're still dealing with a bit of illness. Raytar and I'm Different, still suffering with their sensory mechanites. Although that last tend was pretty good. We want to be careful, we're using proper medicine on these guys, so one thing we need to remember at the start of next stream is that we take them back to herbal medicine until we really, really need the medical grade stuff. But we've started our drug production empire. We've planted out a load of hops, which is on average 50% grown. We've planted out a load of smoke leaf, which is on average 36%, and a load of psychoid, which is on average 13%. So our drug empire is beginning, which will give us great trade power. And what I think we'll do is we will trade some drugs for things that we need, like components. So in the next stream I think we might be doing a little trade caravan. Now we won't have drugs ready to go by then, but we've got a load of Devil Strand that we can be trading away. We've still got a little bit of ambrosia, sort of 300 odd ambrosia, so we've got some trade goods. We've also got a ton of animals. You know, we could take some animals out to trade as well, especially as we're starting to push the nutrient consumption of this pen, but our animal herds are huge. You know, we've got another pregnant goat, we've got 2 pregnant sheep, pregnant boar, and a pregnant dromedary. Sorry, 4 pregnant dromedaries. So I think we can start trading dromedaries quite nicely. And the dromedaries are great for taking the trade caravans places. So we're looking good. We need some more shelves in here. So I mean, that'll do us for now. Could also do with a bit more wood if we're going to be doing that, so let's chop some wood. And our new research room is under construction. So this is all good. All good. Right guys, what I'm going to say, thank you for joining me this morning, because I've got a meeting coming up in about half an hour, just over, which I need to do a little prep for. We've got 3 of us in here, and I appreciate you all massively, but I don't think we're going to go and do any raiding with 3 viewers. We will just end the stream on a happy stream ending note. But thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to everybody who came in, for Berserker for the raid, that was much appreciated, for all the Berserkers guys who stuck around here after the Berserk Viking raid, that was really appreciated. Cell particularly for joining in, for chatting, for helping me through doing stuff. Liam, as always, a pleasure to see you, my friend, and thank you for being instrumental in getting us a raid this morning, which turned this from a very quiet stream into a proper busy stream. And to Berserker himself and to Mandragon for the follows. You know, the follow count is going up. We're 8 away from our 100 target, so massively appreciate that, guys. I hope to see you guys on the next one. Like I say, Friday night we will be streaming some more Rimworld, if not a little bit before, but I don't think we're going to get one in before then this week. It's a busy week. So I will see you Friday night and again over the weekend, and probably catch some of you in other people's Rimworld streams during the week as a chat member. Thank you guys for being with me and joining me for this extra little cheeky morning stream, which I've really enjoyed. I think we're going to do more of these. I will see you on the next one. Catch you all soon. Thank you for coming. Goose out.